Have you ever created a custom challenge for yourself? How many tries did it take to complete? In November of 2022, I created a challenge for Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. I had to beat hard-level CPUs in all of the original courses in 200cc, all in one go, without falling off, and I had to win every single race. What I believed would be a simple challenge turned into over 40 failed attempts and 2 months of frustration, stress, and sorrow. I ended 2022 defeated and uncertain if I could go on. This video is the story of Attempt 44, the day I returned to prove that I could accomplish what I set out to do, and the 3 racers who pushed me to my absolute best. This is the story of how I completed my first ever video game challenge. My stream started out like any other when I did this challenge, which was to go into versus mode and select my setup. From the beginning, Orange Yoshi was my choice for a character, since light to medium light characters were better for beginner to intermediate 200cc racers. As for my cart, the bitty buggy with the roller wheels and gold glider gave me the ideal acceleration and handling boosts I needed. The first attempt of the day was Attempt 43, and since I hadn't done the challenge in a month, it fell in Bowser's Castle. I wasn't upset though, as I needed a good warm-up to get back into the swing of things. As Attempt 44 began, I looked at the front to see who my rivals for the run would be. Typically, on the first track of any racing set, the characters who will be fighting for first place will start in the first 3 spots. When I saw who was in those positions, my heart sank. Who's up there? Oh no. Oh god. Oh god! Oh, this is my worst nightmare.
Hello there.
No, oh my god, this is my worst nightmare. Oh boy, oh boy. Okay, I want you to look at 2nd, 3rd, and 4th for me real quick, right there. Villager, Koopa Troopa, Baby Luigi, right? These are like the 3 worst rivals I could have. Over the course of 40 plus failed attempts, a few characters had emerged as constant thorns in my side. Pink Villager was an early rival of mine, showing up as I was learning the ropes before disappearing for a long time. But in my most recent attempts, she returned with a vengeance, taking on races with great aggression. She was present for my furthest failed attempt, number 42, and had shown she wasn't afraid to play hardball. Koopa Troopa was a speedy little devil, who is directly responsible for 2 failed attempts. Many racers who stepped up to challenge me would ram me with their carts, try and make me spin boost in poor locations, or just be generally annoying, all in an attempt to throw me off my game. Koopa, on the other hand, would beat me on pure speed. If I made one mistake, he would zoom into first place, and it became a major effort to seize it back. And then, there were the babies.
Oh, come on, why are you here?
Daisy, I swear to God, you fucking bitch! Make a trick off of like... Oh my... Oh, are you kidding me? Are you serious? No. No. Oh, That's right, you fucking child! Not today! Yeah, they're the reason I'm addicted to Coke again. Seeing not 1, not 2, but 3 consistent rivals lined up to take me on had me shaking. Pink Villager's aggressiveness, Koopa's speed, and the baby's overall presence were already tough enough on their own. With these forces combined, I did not have much confidence in myself. Oh, I am so screwed. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Oh, no, 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 no. No, 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 no. Oh, why do I have to be dealing with those 3? Rise above your 3 greatest rivals. Wouldn't that be something, huh? Leave me alone. Please leave me alone. Don't come near me, please. Holy shit, holy shit. Ah, he's right there! Although I was on edge, I got through the Mushroom Cup pretty easily. The first 12 courses have always been a good warm-up. Find your groove, set your pace.
Get in the zone!
But you can't really do that when you're making basic mistakes on Mario Circuit. If I was going to succeed, I had to put my worries aside and get in the right mindset. These rivals were just other opponents, nothing more. This was a racing challenge, and all I needed to think about was winning. This child thinks he's funny. Your brain said adios. My brain said adios the moment I saw the child. It was like... We're enjoying the music! Look, I can ignore the villager and the Koopa well enough, but the babies just have some kind of effect on me. I mean, they aren't even old enough to have driver's licenses, and yet here we were on Electrodome, and this literal Peapod was bashing into me! And that's all it could take to throw me off. One brat tap, and suddenly I'm missing all the spin boosts and letting the race be way too close. I'm fine. Fine. Yeah, sure you are. After crashing through trees and bumping over a mountain, any chance to refocus was gone as we entered the dreaded Special Cup. This would be my first true test against my rivals, as even a minor mistake could spell the end. The cup started off well on Cloud Top Cruise. I wasn't taking all the jump boosts on the mushrooms since I wasn't feeling entirely comfortable due to certain children and turtles behind me. But smooth shift drifts and risky storm plays made up for the lost time. Bone Dry Dunes was also a smooth ride. I focused more on quick turbo boosts and maintaining my control on the sandy sections and then gathering as much speed on the rib bones. I got so far ahead, a decent mess up on the final turn wasn't even concerning. But then it was time for a familiar foe, Bowser's Castle. The track responsible for almost 10 failed attempts. A race where my rivals could pull so many opportunities to mess me up. For you to understand how difficult this course is, I'm going to break down everything that happened. Lap 1. I try to build up speed through the obstacles, but my timing is off and I collide with them multiple times, allowing Pink Villager and Koopa to speed ahead. I catch up on the rolling rock section, but it's only because of Koopa's aggressiveness that I don't slam face first into a boulder, and I barely dodge a second boulder to get a jump boost. Lap 2. The obstacles go a bit smoother and I speed ahead of Pink Villager, but hitting the fire gives her the lead right back. At this moment, I realize the Bowser statue will make the right path shake, so I quickly switch to the less traveled by me left path. An Ultra Mini Turbo and Jump Boost allows me to catch back up to Pink. Lap 3. With my nerves shaky, I hit the brakes to avoid the pendulum and take a wide turn to avoid the fire, allowing Koopa to catch up. The wide turn also forces me to take the right path, which is currently wiggling. This is the moment past failures saved me. If a path is wiggling here, you risk performing a quick jump trick and boosting off the edge. We also know that a poorly timed slipstream boost can also end a run. With these in mind, I make sure I'm out of the possible wiggle area before drifting and actively get out from behind Koopa to prevent an unwanted boost. There is one turn left and I am in the lead. However, I time my drift poorly and run headfirst into the boulder. Pink Villager and Koopa speed ahead, assured that victory is in their grasp. The moment I spot this, I start my next drift quickly, aim for the ramp, and pray. Sit down! Sit down, the both of you! God! Two things went my way in those final seconds. First, both Pink Villager and Koopa took the lower right path, ensuring they couldn't get a jump boost. And second, I made sure I saw the orange spark of a Super Mini Turbo before letting go of the drift button, giving myself the extra speed needed to squeak ahead of Pink Villager. As you can see, so much can go into surviving Bowser's Castle, and that was probably the most intense race I had there to date. But I wasn't safe just yet. I still had Rainbow Road to worry about. Unlike Bowser's Castle, there was a consistent plan I could stick to, and it centered around two spots, the opening turn and the split track section. On the opening turn, all I focused on was making it safely. I dropped all mini turbos and tried to avoid colliding with my fellow racers. In previous races, I'd simply let go of the accelerator if this occurred. On attempt 44, I was lucky enough to avoid this. Losing speed may seem like a hindrance, but that's where the split track would come in. All I had to do was take the right path and drive straight. This would launch me off the edge and land me at the end of the left path, skipping over a large section of the course. The race was pretty close for the most part, but when you can skip over a third of the track with just one shortcut, there's just no way for the simple thinking CPUs to keep up. With the Special Cup conquered, I moved on to the classic tracks. I found the first 12 races in this set similar to the beginning, where I could refocus, reset, and find my rhythm. However, they were a bit tougher than the beginning tracks, and multiple runs had ended at this point because I got too careless. Off the bat, I realized the previous races had worn me down more than expected, making simple mistakes when driving through a meadow, hand cramps on a simple circuit, taking my anger out on a fence at a beach. It just didn't feel right. And when you're highway racing around a large amount of traffic, you don't want to have your head in the clouds. Okay! Let's not do that again. Something I didn't mention about 200cc is a racer's need to make split-second decisions, especially after making a mistake. For example, on Bowser's Castle, I was analyzing my options every time I messed up, and finding the best way to recover. When I hit that car, I immediately grabbed these coins. This may seem stupid, but coins increase your max speed and give a tiny boost when collected. I can almost guarantee if I did not grab these coins, this attempt would have had a much different ending. Still, I wouldn't have needed to make that quick decision if I wasn't playing incredibly sloppy. If this is how I raced heading into the Lightning Cup, I might as well drive into the abyss now. I think I put it best in this moment.
Gotta stop trying to self-sabotage.
Like I said before, this was a time to refocus, reset, and find my rhythm. So I buckled down and got to work. By the time I finished Yoshi's Labyrinth of Death, I was winning races by a mile and ready to take on my second biggest test with the Lightning Cup. If the Special Cup was the hardest to get through physically, this one was the hardest emotionally. Every failure that occurred here was due to a small lapse in judgment, so in order to survive, I had to treat every track like it was a Dark Souls boss. Things started out pretty smoothly on TikTok Clock. Besides a few iffy glides over the gears, the race was won by the third lap. I didn't even boost off the gears at the end for extra speed. Piranha Plant Slide was a bit dicier. The initial corner was constant chaos, with wall slams, piranha bites, and Goomba spins aplenty. Any lost time was made up in the second half though, and the cup was halfway complete. Grumble Volcano is where you could see my nerves starting to show. While my first two laps were near perfect, I almost slipped off once the course was broken apart. The large lead I had built allowed me to take the final turn slow and glide my way to the finish. The only thing left to stop me was the dreaded Rainbow Road from the N64. This course is the definition of a wolf in sheep's clothing. It lures you in with the promise of a straightforward race, wobbling paths for multiple jump boosts, only a few chain chomps to avoid, and long extended turns to build up ultra mini turbos you can't possibly fall off of. This is Rainbow Road, you may ask yourself? but it's so simple! And then, on the final turn, when you can feel the win in your grasp, you hit the wickedly placed speed boost and fly into the void of defeat and dismay. And I would not let it take me this time. At least, that's what I was thinking until I had the worst timing imaginable in the first lap and bounced right into a chain jump. Pink Villager and Baby Luigi sped ahead, forcing me to play catch-up. Even as I took a tighter turn past Pink Villager, the child was putting the pedal to the metal, and I could feel another failed attempt creeping up on me. I raced up to the kid's side, and our eyes met. Two fierce rivals, locked in a dash for the lead. And then, the child got greedy. He took a jump boost, trying to gain more speed on me, and launched himself directly into the path of another chain chomp. I seized my chance, accelerating into first and drifting the inside lane like my life depended on it. But I knew the final turn was approaching, and my plan was risky. The only way I knew how to survive this area was to release my Ultra Mini Turbo. While this would give me the control needed to avoid the dash panels, it gave my rivals the chance to use their own boosts and pull ahead. For me to win, my path had to be perfect. I want to give a special thanks to the giant chain chomp ball who smashed into the baby. Lightning Cup defeated. Challenge 2/3 completed. Anxiety pretty high, not gonna lie. Because from this point on, any race could be my last. This was the home stretch. 16 grueling races stood between me and victory. So, with renewed confidence, I started to knock the tracks out one by one. Yoshi's circuit provided an endless number of sharp turns, but nothing some simple brake drifting couldn't handle. Excitebike Arena's constant ramps were jarring, but strategic tricks made it a breeze. Dragon Driftway in Mute City allowed for collision boost chaos, but Pink Villager's attempts at speed sabotage were for naught. My troubles began anew once I hit the Triforce Cup. It started out well in Wario's Gold Mine. Other than an off-angle jump on the first lap, I rode the rails to an easy win. But the game's third Rainbow Road, the SNES No Walls Allowed in Hell version, was the exact opposite. Shortly into the second lap, Koopa zoomed ahead of me, determined to end my streak. Attempts to move past him were thwarted over and over, but all I needed was one opportunity, and Koopa was the one who was going to give it to me. I talked about this in my video explaining lessons I learned from my failures in this challenge, but to reiterate, the CPUs can't help but perform tricks on any jump they hit, even if it would cause them problems. So, say a certain turtle hit a ramp in the middle of the track right before a 180-degree turn. Did he fall off? He fell off! He fell off! Go! That was the other big reason I let him go ahead, because usually these NPCs are too stupid at this speed to not fall off. So I was like, if I let him go, the game might have pity on me and make him fall. And sure enough, he got stupid. Oh. After that tough win, I got some time to chill and skate through Ice Ice Outpost before jumping right back into the Chaos and Hyrule Circuit. The biggest problem I have with this track is the stairs into the castle. Lap 1, I used the brakes to ensure I had control, but this allowed my rivals to stay close on my tail. I got riskier in lap 2 to try and maintain speed, but that just had me bouncing off the walls. This is where I made one of the biggest mistakes you can make while racing, switching up my plan halfway through. I believed if I hopped around the Master Sword rather than drifting, I would have more control. The only issue with this plan was that I'd never done that before. Take that. No! God damn it! God, stop! Stop! Fucking these goddamn walls. Go, 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 go! Okay. Fucking... Okay. It's fucking clipping things and bouncing around. So annoying. But I'm through, so fight me. I was nearing the end of the challenge, and everything was starting to fail me. My decision-making was failing, my drifts were failing, my frame rate was failing, it was rough. Even the NASCAR-inspired Baby Park wasn't enough to calm me before I was confronted with another intense race in Cheeseland. As with many races so far, I started off well in lap 1, besides me running headfirst into a pole like a kid riding their bike on the sidewalk. But in lap 2, Pink Villager mistook me for a Goomba and dropped right on my head. The Chain Chomp had my back as a fellow Bowser minion, but she was not through with me. I messed up my drift for this loop, preventing me from gaining the Ultra Mini Turbo I usually got here. It also forced me to take the follow-up turn wide, and Pink Villager seized the opportunity. With a side-by-side, my focus shifted to just making the turns. There we go. Keep it simple, right? All I had to do was keep with her. It was like, okay, she's gonna stick in front of me, just don't do anything stupid, and you stay with her. There you go. They're really grilling me now. They are on me. They are not making this easy. Oh boy. With my rivals breathing down my neck, I could tell the desperation to stop me was setting in. They got a decent chance in Wild Woods, when in the first lap I forgot this was a racetrack and not a skate park. The child tried his best to intimidate me, but was no match for my flow. Animal Crossing came next, and all I could hope was that the random season pick didn't land on winter. Spring and summer would be amazing. Hell, even fall would be acceptable. Winter was just snow everywhere, and the constant sliding would cause major problems. But, knowing my luck, it was totally going to be. Is this like fall? Are we in the fall? Oh, thank God. This is actually a good season. Oh, would you look at that? That was the most vibes I've ever had on this course. All right. It all came down to this. After dozens of attempts ending in defeat, after so many races that came down to the wire, every scream, spin, wall slam, kart slam, fall, near fall, close lose, close win, every moment of racing came down to the Bell Cup, the hardest set of tracks this game could offer. I had been here once before, and it ended in heartbreak. Going in, I felt more confident than ever, but there was this lingering idea that it could still all be for nothing. My hands were shaking, my heart was racing, and it was getting harder to keep speaking. But I had to, as I put it during the run, just keep the vibes going. Neo Bowser City's wet roads were as slick as you could expect, but ironically, it was the covered section that gave me the most trouble, causing wall hit after wall hit. The brake button was getting a real workout throughout this race, which meant my rivals were always close behind. Luckily, the cautious approach paid off as I spun around the final corner and glided to a win. One down. Ribbon Road, the track that ended attempt 42, my previously longest attempt, was next. It took me the entirety of lap 1 to find my rhythm, which almost resulted in falls twice. But I gathered my groove once I started talking myself through every decision I should make. I mean, literally everything. Hold right turn the entire time. Hold it, hold it, hold it. There you go. That's fine, that's fine. Hit that jump, there you go. Hit left skid immediately so that you hit the turn. There you go. Wait to get over this jump, now hit the left skid. There you go. Wait to get over this jump, hit the left skid. There you go. With my plan locked firmly in my head, I zoomed through the final lap and won by nearly half a track length. I was 2 down and also passed my previous best. We were now in uncharted territory. Super Bell Subway was 3rd, and its chaotic clutter of different routes threw any amount of planning I had out the window. Lap 1 saw me start on the train tracks before trying to take an upwards ramp. I angled myself incredibly poorly, and the time I lost fighting the tunnel walls put me back into 4th. I took a huge risk and decided to change my plan mid-race from a planned out route to just taking whatever path came my way. Now, I know we previously established that this was something you absolutely did not do while racing. But at this point in the challenge, you do what you can to survive, damn it! Lap 2 saw me take a similar route to lap 1, but it went much smoother this time around, and I headed into the final lap in the lead. In lap 3, a train in the middle of the tunnel forced me to the overhead routes, and while wall collisions were aplenty, my quick recoveries with mini turbos made up for it. I crossed the line, and I was 1 course away. I don't think any words can capture the feeling and thoughts that went into that final race on Big Blue. So I'll just let the race speak for itself. Just Don't force it. Do what you know. You do what you know. You do what you know. Don't force it. Don't force it. You do what you know. You do what you know. Whoa! Let's go! Yes! "48 courses, 12 cups, 1 challenge, all completed." When I first created this challenge back in November of 2022, I never imagined how much effort would go into it. I mean, the challenge broken down to the simplest terms was race well on 200cc. And yet, it was attempt 44 that saw it defeated. While there was much frustration, practice, and time spent on this challenge, including 2 whole months of my life creating the previous video on it, I'm so happy I did it. Because winning that final race put a drive in me I hadn't felt in a while. Challenge runs aren't just meant to make a game harder for the sake of it. They test your ability to strategize, to see the game differently, to know that you can set a goal, no matter how stupid or simple, and see it through. And I wanted more. So much so that not long after completing my custom challenge, I set out to beat a classic. But with my own twist.